Hello there,
General Kenobi.
and welcome to another episode of the Prequel Gang podcast, the show where we talk about movies completely unscripted. Today we're talking about Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
More like The Empire Strikes Out.
What? What do you mean by that?
Never mind. Whatever. I was just referencing the Yoda Chronicles TV show. Well,
All
that's
right.
not important. Anyway, where do we begin? Ah, yes, the Battle of Hoth.
Well, not necessarily the battle yet. First, what happens?
It's on Hoth.
They're on Hoth, and Luke goes looking for something, and then he gets himself caught by this creature called a Wampa, I believe, and then yeah, he's in this cave, right? He's hanging from the ceiling, and he uses the Force to grab his lightsaber to cut himself free.
You can use the Force.
Yeah, and it looks like it was like hard for him to do, which makes sense. And
yeah,
he gets himself free, and he like cuts off the Wampa's arm.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, and that whole scene that was done well. I think it definitely had a certain level of suspense. And then Han Solo goes looking for Luke, and on Hoth there are these creatures called Tauntauns, I think. What?
Tauntauns.
Yes, Tauntauns. Right. So Han rides a Tauntaun to look for Luke, and he finds Luke. And meanwhile, Obi-Wan's Force Ghost is like telling Luke to go to the Dagobah system to train with Yoda, and meanwhile, Han basically shoves Luke inside of the Tauntaun. Of the Tauntaun he was riding. So then he's like, and I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
On the outside. Yeah.
And that whole thing was done well. Especially the setup. Like, everyone was telling Han, no, it's too cold out there, you'll freeze to death. Exactly, and my friend is out there in that cold, so I better go hurry. And so he does, and the next day, the Rebel Force, they find Luke, and then the Imperial forces, they attack the Rebels on Hoth. And yeah, anything you want to add?
Sorry about the background noise. My mom just got home, but yeah. So basically, where'd you get up to? Like, they just got rescued by rebels, right?
Yeah. Well, right. The rebels find them, and then the Imperial forces attack, like the rebel base on Hoth.
Yeah, basically, and I personally believe this is probably one of the coolest battle scenes in like the original trilogy because of like first of all the massive AT-AT walkers, which are just so cool. Not to mention
and the way all the creative ways they found to like take them down, like they like wrapped its legs around, and then like to another one, Luke just like threw his lightsaber inside of one.
No, he threw like a grenade inside of one. He cut it open with his lightsaber, and then he threw a grenade inside it.
Oh, okay. Well, still, it was creative, and and then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this battle it was pretty cool, but still not as good as some of the battles in the prequels.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there's not enough like good fun dialogue between the characters. So
yeah, there's just not a lot of good dialogue. I agree.
Yeah.
And
also some of the effects, like especially for the Tauntauns, they just kind of look like stop motion, and it just doesn't hold up well at all.
Well, that's because they are stop motion.
Exactly. That's why they look like stop motion, and they don't really hold up very well.
Yeah, whatever. All right, you have a point, but like, I mean, that's the best I could do at the time. Oh, Melser, whatever. And then basically, the rebels are kind of defeated, and a couple of transports escape.
Yeah. So then
I think all the transports escape actually, and then basically they get into the rebel base, and Darth Vader's there. Woo!
Yeah, and then Han, Leia, Chewie, and C-3PO go in the Millennium Falcon to like basically get out of there, and meanwhile Luke is on his ship with R2-D2 and headed for the Dagobah system.
Yeah, and then in the meantime, Vader's just like, "You failed me for the last time, Admiral," and then he chokes the Admiral guy to death, and then promotes the other guy, the Captain Piet, to Admiral.
Yeah.
So that's kind of important, and then basically, then secondary plot starts, or primary part. I'm not sure, but there's two plots going along in congruence, like parallel to each other. But basically, it's so Admiral Piet hires a bunch of bounty hunters to try to find Han, Leia, and Chewie, and one of them being Boba Fett, son of Jango Fett, who we mentioned in our
well, it's not really the son of Jango Fett. He's a clone of Jango Fett.
It's complicated, but yeah, who we mentioned in episode 2 and 3, and then in the meantime, Luke goes to Dagobah and trains with Yoda, and he sees Obi-Wan's Force Ghost and everyone there. But we really don't need to go into too much detail for that. But basically, he trains.
Yeah, he trains, and it's all very well done. Although Yoda may be a Sith Lord, according to this movie, because he says, "Do or do not. There is no try." And as we learned in episode 3, only a Sith deals in absolutes. So there's that.
Whatever. Still, maybe do or maybe do not, but there possibly is no try. Yeah, but okay. So then, in the meantime, they're being chased by bounty hunters. So, I forget a lot of the sequence, but basically,
basically, they chase the Millennium Falcon, and then they go into an asteroid thing, they're flying into a group of asteroids, and in this movie, they set it up as something that's very hard to do and something that you need a very good pilot for. Unlike episode 2, where they just kind of go in and...
Well, yeah, that's because Obi-Wan is a very good pilot, because he can use the Force, and Jango Fett, I guess, well, they don't exactly say that it's hard to do, but
they'd be crazy to follow us, eh? They say that.
Yeah. Whatever, still. I mean, in episode 2 or 3, I don't think they should really be talking, because, they're... in the middle of, or episode 2, sorry, not episode 3. They're in the middle of a battle. So yeah.
Well, okay, but anyway, in the asteroid field, they they get past that, and then they get onto an asteroid, and then they find a cave, which turns out to not be a cave at all, but rather the mouth of some big worm creature thing.
No. It is a cave, but just a giant worm creature lives in it. And they go into the mouth of the worm creature accidentally because they thought it was part of the cave.
Okay.
Also, I believe that the giant worm creature is referred to as a space slug.
Right. Okay. So anyway, after that, they try to go into hyperspace, but then they fail because the thing was broken.
Reasons.
Yeah, the thing was broken. So Han decides to take the Millennium Falcon to his friend Lando, who he doesn't...
Wait, what planet is it on?
What?
Never mind.
So he decides to take it to Cloud City, where his friend Lando lives. And
hey, Han, how you doing?
And, yeah, so Han makes it clear that he doesn't entirely trust Lando, but they're friends, so, okay.
Yeah. And then, C-3PO just, goes into some room, and then so he gets zapped by a laser and it's torn into a million pieces.
Yeah.
While he gets his arms and legs ripped off.
Right.
Pretty much. And then Chewbacca tries to fix him, but he fixes him wrong.
Yeah, he puts his head on backwards and everything. And meanwhile Leia is just having none of it. She doesn't trust Lando at all. She thinks that there's some plan behind all of this, and then they go to eat, and Darth Vader is there.
Bro, I don't know why Han started shooting at Darth Vader, because Darth Vader was just trying to have some dinner,
I mean, maybe here They just want to show that Han, in fact, shot first.
Yeah, but I mean, dude was just chilling. Whatever. But yeah, basically.
Also, Han shot first.
Yeah.
Just like don't watch our debate. That video does not reflect the feeling I have.
We'll delete that video.
Yeah, we'll just like don't watch it. It does. It doesn't reflect my current thoughts on the thing. Yeah, Han shot first.
Whatever.
The special edition change was kind of BS. Not a big deal, but kind of BS.
It's revealed that there's an Imperial presence on Cloud City, and basically there's just a plan that they're practicing where they're gonna freeze Luke Skywalker in carbonite.
Well, no, they're gonna the plan was they were going to freeze Han Solo in carbonite so that they could the bounty hunters could take Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. Right?
Yeah, but Han Solo is basically the practice, but it's Darth Vader's plan to freeze Luke in carbonite to take him to the Emperor. But basically, they do that since like they're captured and everything. They freeze Han in carbonite, and he delivers the famous lines of where Leia says, "I love you," and Han says, "I know."
Yeah.
By the way, that was I believe that was unscripted. So Han just like like when they made the scene, and he was supposed to say "I love you too," but instead Harrison Ford just decided to say "I know" because he thought it'd fit Han's character better.
Yeah, and then they just kept it in.
Yep, pretty much. But what was I gonna say after that? So yeah, Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite.
And speaking of things that probably were unscripted but were kept in the movie anyway, in the previous movie, A New Hope, there was this one part where some stormtroopers were like walking through a doorway, and then one of them just like bangs his head on the top, on like the top of it, and it even made a sound effect.
Yeah.
But they just kept it in the movie.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, then Luke Skywalker is just like, I'm gonna go to Dagobah to save my friends, and then
he's
Obi-Wan,
on Dagobah when he.
I'm gonna go to Cloud City to save my friends.
Well,
and
like,
then Obi-Wan's
the thing is, he's having visions of them dying. So he he thinks he like wants to prevent them from happening, similar to what Anakin was doing, in like the prequels.
And then Obi-Wan, who like has seen this before, he's just like, no, Luke, don't go. You're like our only chance. And then Yoda's just like, there is another, because he's referring to Leia, who is also apparently Force sensitive. But and then so basically Luke goes to Dagobah,
Cloud City.
Cloud City. Why did I do that twice in a row?
I don't know.
But
so he goes to Cloud City, but it's kind of a trap. Not well,
it's a trap.
No, that's the next movie. But
I know.
But anyway. Luke goes to Cloud City, and there are Imperial forces there, and while he's there, or maybe before that, they take Han into this torture room thing, and then they kind of like torture him, and like we don't see him like actually getting tortured, but we hear him like screaming in the background while Darth Vader is talking to Boba Fett, and then in like the next scene. He says that they didn't even ask him any questions. So, like, why? What was the point of that?
I guess I'm assuming that it was probably just to like prepare him for carbon freezing. Like, I don't think it was really for like torture. It was just like a painful process that was required for him to be like prepared for carbon freezing.
Well, they clearly didn't need that for Luke.
Yeah, but like, I mean, okay, I mean. Okay, we'll leave that up to debate. But
So yeah. So then.
Lightsaber battle.
Well, before that, Luke encounters Leia, and she basically yells to him that it's a trap and everything, and then Luke faces Darth Vader in a pretty cool lightsaber battle. It's pretty good. Like there's still some parts where they just kind of stand there and talk. But it's definitely a very significant improvement over A New Hope's lightsaber battle.
Definitely. And then Darth Vader cuts off Luke's arm and delivers a famous line. No, Luke, I am your father. Don't like quote me on that because like I don't know the exact quote. I don't have it like memorized. I'm not that hardcore.
Yeah, this is the exchange of dialogue. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father.
No!
Right. So then Luke basically jumps off the thing. I guess he was trying to kill himself or something. I don't know. But then he doesn't end up dying.
No, he goes on a thing to like escape, and then he's basically just like goes through a hole and then latches onto like an antenna or something on the underneath Cloud City, and then like he has like a force connection with Leia or something where they're just like Leia, Luke, and then they realize they're brother and sister, which is kind of gross because they kissed earlier in the movie.
Well, they find out about that in episode 6, not this movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot, but still kind of disgusting. And then basically they go to like a ship. Luke gets his like a mechanical hand, and that's where the movie ends.
Yeah. So, Star Wars Episode 5. It's a great movie. For the most part, it is a very significant improvement over Episode 4. Do I think it's the best Star Wars movie, as some people like to believe? No. However, this is definitely a very good movie.
Yeah, it's probably my second favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
Yeah, like as far as the 6-movie saga goes, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to rank episodes 5, 6, 1, and 2. Like they all have something that's really good about them that I can't really rank those 4 movies. Like I know episode 4 is my least favorite in the 6-movie saga, and that episode 3 is my favorite, but episodes 5, 6, 1, and 2, I can't do it.
I see where you're coming from. Yeah, on that note though, that's gonna do it for this video, guys.
Yeah. So anyway, this movie, like a lot of great acting and stuff, and also, the whole story, like we kind of glossed over all of the Yoda scenes, but he is definitely a very good character in this one. Like he has a little bit more personality than he did in the prequels. Like he actually has some funny moments.
Definitely.
And also, this is like the part of the movie where that inspired the song "Seagulls Stop It Now."
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's definitely gonna do for this video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and keep having the high ground.
And hit the bell. But anyway, keep having the high ground. Bye.